Hey, this is Mike Santiago, the pastor of Focus Church, and I know that the possibility of us merging with Spring Lane Assembly is quickly becoming a reality. I also know that the weather this week in Raleigh is really challenging, and so what I figured I would do is take some time to walk you through introducing myself, introducing the church that will potentially be merging with Spring Lane. And at Focus Church, we have a deep passion for strengthening local churches, and we believe by coming together, we can be more effective for advancing God's kingdom. But obviously, that comes with a lot of questions and a lot of nuance, and sometimes it can be really complicated. So, what I figured I would do is I would first just introduce myself, and then I'll tackle some of the questions that have been asked already. So, here's the story of Focus Church, a legacy of growth and impact. This is a picture of my family when we first moved to Raleigh 12 years ago. And then on the bottom is a picture of us today. But at the age of 24, alongside my wife, Ashton, and our three kids in diapers, we moved to North Carolina with a God-given vision to plant Focus Church. And since then, we've seen countless miracles as the church has grown to multiple locations with over 2,000 in attendance. I'm passionate about preaching God's word, planting churches, and I serve as an advocate for the Church Multiplication Network, and I help pastors break the 200 growth barrier with a resource we designed called Break 200. And our leadership has been recognized nationally. I now currently serve as the representative for ministers under the age of 40 for the Assemblies of God as the U40 Executive Presbyter, and Outreach Magazine named Focus Church the second most multiplying church in the nation. And we've been featured in several magazines. And so I just wanted to introduce myself and some of the things that God has done in our life. Now, our church started with a simple yet powerful vision, and that is to see life change through Christ. And in 2012, we gathered 7 people in our living room, and we believed that God had called us to plant a church that would reach people that were far from God, and that it would create a lasting impact in our community. And from those humble beginnings, Focus Church has quickly grown as people have encountered the life-changing message of Jesus. And in 2017, we took a bold step forward and we merged with a legacy church in Raleigh, and a move that deepened its foundation and expanded our church's reach. Since then, we've continued to grow, and we've grown at an unprecedented pace. We grow very fast. And over the past few years, we've added 3 additional campuses have been launched, expanding our church's reach and impact. And since 2021, Focus Church has seen a 186% increase in growth. And this is a testament to God's favor and God's faithfulness on those who call Focus Church their home. Now, this growth has been accompanied by an unwavering commitment to the Assemblies of God and to our doctrine, and a vision to see more churches planted and strengthened. So that's not the whole story. The story of Focus is not just about numbers or growth, it's about legacy. I carry a generational calling, and it's deeply rooted in global missions and ministry. My grandfather, who's also named is Mike Santiago, he retired after 51 years of missionary service in Latin America and Africa with the Assemblies of God World Mission Board. My parents, David and Dana Santiago, they continued that legacy, serving as AGWM missionaries in Spain for the past 20 years, and now they lead a local church in Durham. Growing up as a missionary kid in Spain, I experienced firsthand the power of the gospel to transform lives across culture and continents. And at just the age of 16, I enrolled in Southeastern University, which is an Assemblies of God school in Lakeland, Florida, and pursued a degree in practical theology. And by the age of 17, I was already serving as youth pastor. And by 19, I was married to my wife, my lifelong partner in ministry. This rich heritage, combined with a clear vision for the future, has positioned Focus Church as a thriving multiplying church with the opportunity to partner with Spring Lane Assembly. And it's not about merging two churches. It's about advancing God's kingdom together, building on a foundation of faith, and reaching more people with the gospel. Together, we believe that the best is yet to come. We don't just want a church that looks like Raleigh. We want a church that looks like heaven. And I know with that comes challenge and questions and wondering where you fit in all of this. So over the next few moments, I want to take some time and I want to go over just what it's going to mean to merge and some of the questions that have been asked. The first question that was asked is, who currently makes up the team of dedicated leaders who will become our new visionary leaders at Focus Church? Focus Church is led by a team of pastors and an executive team of directors who oversee the vision, direction, and operations of our multi-site church. This team includes our lead pastors, campus pastors, executive pastors, and key ministry directors who work together to ensure alignment with our mission, life change through Christ. The next question I received was, will current leaders from Spring Lane Assembly of God become a part of this team? We deeply value the leadership and investment of those currently serving at Spring Lane Assembly. While the formal leadership team at Focus Church will remain in place, there will be opportunities for current leaders at Spring Lane to serve in key ministry roles based on their experience, calling, and alignment with Focus Church's vision. The third question I got was, how will the new pastor be chosen? Will Spring Lane Assembly be included in the decision? The selection of campus pastor for the Sanford location will be determined by the Focus Church executive leadership team. While we seek input from everyone, especially leaders, we assess what's best for the campus, and the final decision rests on the senior leadership of Focus Church. Our church model as a multi-site church requires a very specific gifting and a unique call as it pertains to finding a campus pastor. The fourth question I received was, do Focus Church locations operate independently or as separate entities, or are they under the leadership of Focus Church? All Focus Church locations are fully integrated under one church, the leadership of Focus Church. While each campus is unique in its expression of ministry, we operate as one church with one vision, with one leadership structure, and one bank account, one board, and one set of bylaws. Each campus is classified as a parent-affiliated church under the parent church of Focus Church. Another question I received was, will Spring Lane Assembly have any input on building changes that Focus Church intends to make, or will Focus Church act as the mediator between the merged church and Sandhills Adult and Teen Challenge? Facility adjustments will be led by Focus Church leadership in partnership with key stakeholders, including Sandhills Adult Teen Challenge. While we consider input from everyone, we have done this 4 times and know what is best and what best aligns with the model of ministry we are pursuing. Our model is very specific for young families and new people, and our vision is very, very clear. Another question I received was what we meant when we said a new way of doing things, and who determines what the new way looks like, and will Spring Lane Assembly of God have an input into the process? Well, after the merger, Spring Lane will come under the leadership of Focus Church, and a new way of doing things means aligning with the vision, the structure, and ministry philosophy of Focus Church. And we are a multi-site church, and we operate with a unified system, unified processes, and unified expectations. we highly value the history and the rich history that comes from Spring Lane Assembly, the transition will mean adopting Focus Church's way of doing ministry. As far as culture shift, another question asked, what do you see changing or remaining? The core shift is going to be aligning with a new mission, vision, and values of Focus Church. And we honor the legacy of Spring Lane, and we'll seek to preserve traditions and practices that align well with our culture. But with this merger, everything is on the table. The next question I received was, how will Focus Church determine which aspects of Spring Lane's culture remain? Will Spring Lane have any input? Well, just to reiterate it, Spring Lane will no longer exist as its own church. It will now be a part of a network of churches. So as we move forward, we will assess the elements of the current culture that align with Focus Church's DNA, and we are open to conversations, but ultimately, our executive leadership team will make the final determinations. Another question I have is, what are some of the current small groups at Focus Church? How are these established? And is it possible for Spring Lane's current cultures to become a small group? Well, once again, anything that you want to see happen is always up for discussion. However, our small groups range from Bible studies to activity-based groups and discipleship-focused gatherings. New groups are established based on leader availability, alignment with Focus Church's vision, and interest from attendees. If there are existing ministries at Spring Lane that fit within our group culture and structure, we will explore ways to integrate them. The next question I received was, will the current Spring Lane policies, procedures, and bylaws be considered and or incorporated? Since Focus Church is an established multi-site church with a unified structure, we will operate under Focus Church's existing policies, procedures, and bylaws, and we will not be adopting any policies, procedures, or bylaws that currently exist within Spring Lane. How does Focus Church determine its policies and procedures and bylaws? What is the process for adopting these, and how much input do members of current locations have? Policies, procedures, and bylaws are established by Focus Church's executive and eldership team. They're overseen by our board of overseers. While we value input, these decisions are made at a leadership level and not at a congregational level. And what this does, it allows us to move faster, and it ensures consistency across all campuses. I got another question. How does a satellite church operate? Are services via video, a combo of video and in-person pastor, or an in-person pastor only? Our model is a franchise, multi-site video venue model. Each campus has a real live campus pastor who leads the congregation. The teaching or preaching is primarily provided by the lead pastor through video. No campus goes without a campus pastor, and no campus is autonomous in their preaching. They all receive preaching from the same pastor every week. How will Focus Church determine who's a member in good standing and that will become a member of Focus Church? Membership at Focus Church is based on participation and alignment with our mission. If you participate in church life and you're committed to biblical principles, those who have been actively engaged in Spring Lane Assembly of God and wish to be a part of Focus Church will have the opportunity to go through a very simple and streamlined membership process. Another question that was asked is, if a merger is approved by Spring Lane, when will Focus Church vote? Focus Church does not have the same voting requirements that Spring Lane does. We are an elder-driven model of governance not a congregational driven model of governance. So we will use prayer and discernment and alignment, but it is our elders' decision to merge, not our congregation's decision to merge at the end of the day. The next question. If the directors of Focus Church remain as directors, will Spring Lane leadership be included? Focus Church's board of directors or elders will remain in place to ensure consistency and stability. However, there may be opportunities for key individuals from Sanford to serve in an advisory or leadership roles within that specific campus structure. Number 5, how does the merger affect the relationship between Spring Lane Assembly and Sandhills Adult Teen Challenge? Any existing partnerships between the two ministries will be reviewed to ensure that they align. Focus Church has always valued Teen Challenge and has always supported them financially. We value that, and we seek to maintain that strong bond with them for as long as possible, in the same way that Spring Lane functioned with them. Next question. In a merger, would Focus Church have total control of all finances? How are finances handled? And are finances centrally located or separately handled by each location? We have a one bank account, one fund model. The campuses do have income and expense reports. However, finances are handled centrally. We have a chief financial officer who is an ordained minister with the Assemblies of God, Pastor Chris. He is our CFO, and he makes sure that each campus operates under a unified financial system with centralized oversight. And we ensure transparency, accountability, and effective stewardship of the resources by centralizing every single dollar from every location. Another question. Does our current membership in Spring Lane transfer? Do we need to apply for new membership? Since Focus Church operates with a unified membership structure across all campuses, all current members of Spring Lane Assembly of God will go through our very simple yet streamlined membership process. This is simply attending Party with the Pastor and Serve 101, and this ensures alignment with our mission, values, and expectations as we move forward. However, we recognize and honor the commitment that many have already made to the church, and our goal is to make this transition as smooth as possible. Another question. According to Focus Church documents, members should attend regularly. How does this apply to active military, either deployed or temporarily on duty? Would they still be considered active members even though potentially not able to attend on a regular basis? Absolutely. We deeply respect and appreciate the sacrifice of those serving in the military. We understand that deployment and duty assignments can impact attendance. In such cases, a member would still be considered active as long as they remain engaged with the church in ways that are available to them. Maybe there's a way for them to attend online or communicate with church leadership or be involved with as their schedule allows. Our heart is to support and to stay connected with those serving, not to create unnecessary barriers. Focus Church criteria to hold office states that a person should not lead a life of violence. How is this interpreted for combat soldiers or police officers? This statement refers to a lifestyle of personal violence, aggression, or harmful behavior that contradicts biblical principles. It is not intended to disqualify those serving in honorable roles, such as military personnel or law enforcement officers who are carrying out their duties to protect and serve. We deeply respect those who serve in these capacities and recognize that their roles are often require them to face difficult situations with courage and integrity. Those cover some of the questions that have already been asked. I'm sure that there are going to be more, but what I figured was if I gave everyone a chance to simply listen or watch this video, it would at least allow some time for processing prior to our next meeting so that you have all of the answers you need in one place. Again, grateful for you. I'm praying for you. I'm currently traveling on the West Coast, just finished preaching in California, and I will be on my way home tomorrow. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you. Please stay safe in this weather. I am praying for you constantly, and I'm incredibly grateful for our families to come together potentially. And may God bless you this week.